Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of Bible in a Year. And so far, congratulations if you have followed us to this particular part, because this is Exodus last chapters 36 to 40. And so far, we've seen how the vision that God gave Moses at the top of the mountain is becoming a reality, where we see a journey from how the Israelites have moved from Egypt now. They're now carrying God's presence physically, where God comes to dwell with them. And we see how God also instructs Moses to anoint Aaron to minister to him as a priest. So this chapter just gives us the brief, detailed story of how God built the tabernacle through the Israelites, detail for detail, brick by brick. Every single nail, every single wood was a detailed expression of God's need, or not particularly need, but of God's willingness to be with his people. Let's take a listen. This is the story of how a wandering people built a home for the King of the universe. Moses called for offerings, and the people gave freely. Gold, silver, and fine cloth. They gave so much that Moses finally said, "Stop, it is enough." Their hearts had turned towards a new purpose. God did not just give a task, he gave skill. Bezalel and Oholiab were chosen and filled with the wisdom to design and create. Standing before piles of materials, they knew they were not just building, they were shaping something sacred. Bezalel began with the ark, crafting it from wood and covering it in gold. He made the cherubim with outstretched wings over the mercy seat, the place where God would meet his people. Every detail was done with care, like an act of worship. Oholiab and the workers wove the curtains of fine linen in blue, purple, and scarlet. Cherubim were embroidered into fabric, turning the tabernacle into a place that reflected the beauty of heaven. The structure rose next. Strong wooden frames covered in gold, set firmly in silver bases. Each piece fit perfectly, forming the sacred space just as God has instructed. They made the lampstand from pure gold, shaped like branches with blossoms, and also built the bronze altar for sacrifices. Every item had meaning, designed for worship and daily devotion. The veil was woven as a heavy curtain to separate the holy place from the most holy, and Moses watched as it was completed, seeing the vision from the mountain becoming real. Piece by piece, the work was finished, every tool, garment, and sacred object. When it was all brought to Moses, he saw it matched God's command and blessed the workers. Then the tabernacle was assembled. The frames were raised, coverings spread, and each item placed in its proper place. What was once scattered parts became a holy dwelling. Aaron was dressed in his sacred garments and set apart for service, that he may minister to God as a priest. The one who had once failed now stood ready to serve, carrying the people before God. At last, a cloud descended and covered the tabernacle. The glory of the Lord filled it so powerfully that even Moses could not enter. The people watched in awe. From that moment on, the cloud led them by day and by night. God was no longer only on the mountains. He now lived among them, guiding their every journey.